Oh, wait.
No! I can't lose!
But life, finds a way.
Bullshit.
Stay out of trouble.
You will be the one escaping!
Oh, wait.
Into the night. Abada. 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 Abada.
Son of a bitch.
Bullshit.
Fuck you, asshole.
Bastard.
Raise them both, and now this dude's gonna kill my ass next!
Your move, creep.
I see you on the floor.
I see you on the floor. He said,
All things glisten
"Yes,
into the night.
into the Reggie.
Into the Reg.
How many Reggies does it take to open up Goodfellas on a Friday after Christmas?
You think
0, because he's gonna be late.
you think I should quit and join the maintenance team? Jerk off motion.
Jerk off motion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You think I should quit and become a police officer in the state of Ohio? Jerk off motion.
All right.
All right, take it away.
Welcome back to the
Into the Night podcast.
I am DJ Villain,
And I'm MC PBK.
and we are here back again in the Necro.
Police. And we want to wish everybody a belated Merry Christmas and
Yep.
an early Happy New Year.
Happy New 2023.
Yeah. And
It's cold out there.
this weather sucks. The studio is freaking freezing.
It's
Mr.
very cold.
Bigglesworth.
It's very cold. We got the heaters on. That's why we got our beanies on
in full effect.
in full effect.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are experiencing a little Merry Christmas here, White Christmas. And so we decided to take it upon ourselves to delve back in to season 2 here.
Speaking of White Christmas,
Yeah.
that'll segue into what these people are dealing with, the Katana Gang.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, we're back for, I guess, what would this be? The official start of season 2?
I don't know. This is just season
Long
2.
hiatus.
Long hiatus.
We apologize.
I have no idea what episode yet. We'll compile it all later.
I think it's 116 or
put it-
115.
Whatever it is. We'll put everything in sync.
Yeah.
But we are watching
Samurai Cop.
starring Matt Hammond.
You would say
Hammond?
that. Dr. Hammond
Doctor, that's what I'm thinking.
from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It's Matt Hammond.
Hammond with no D and Robert
Yeah.
Zadar.
Robert Zadar.
And
And then we got Mark Frazier as Frank Washington.
is he the detective?
Token black guy. Yeah. With the lazy eye and what did you say? Breaking the fourth wall.
He breaks fourth
all
wall.
the time.
He's looking at he looks at the camera and like does these like you're like damn
these-
that's whack.
Yeah,
or
like these inside
these
jokes.
white
like,
boys are crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be talking that shit if I was you. Yeah.
yeah. I know better than that.
The wonderfully named Cranston Komodo
Yeah.
as Mr. Fujiyama.
Yes.
And his other acting partner is his mullet on top of his
yes.
head. That's so
he had,
masterful.
he had
Yeah.
the second best hair in this film.
Yeah. Dale Cummings as get the fuck out of here, Captain Roma.
The chief, and then
Captain Roma.
we'll call him.
We'll call him
the-
Mylanta or
We'll call him.
Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, we'll call him either the chief or the captain.
Yeah.
And then who's the other guy? That's like the sergeant or the lieutenant or whatever. who-
the
house
Booger Nose.
break-in. Yeah, with the Booger Nose.
I didn't.
It doesn't matter.
We'll call him MC Boogie. We'll call him Cliffhanging Boogies.
Yeah. But that's, and then we've got the dude from like Big Trouble in Little China,
Gerald Okamuda. I was
yeah.
just about to get to that.
who's very heavily, featured in this movie. I was about to say, I would think 100% of everything fight or martial arts choreography would be him.
Ooh, eat that. Jennifer's Janice Farley, and then
Peg, Square Peg,
Peggy Lee Thomas, played by the lovely Melissa Moore, and the
random redhead, chick.
impossible, almost nigh impossible, hard to find redhead, who is billed as Cameron, and we just found out that she played Ensign Kellogg on Star Trek Next Generation, and was also
like a body double
Doctor.
stand-in.
Yeah, she was Dr. Crusher's body double.
Yeah.
But anyway,
She is smoking hot though.
all these babes.
So hard.
I mean, this film reeks of 80s excess, cocaine muscles.
It's great.
Sexism,
Yeah.
bad jokes, and TNA all over the place. But yes,
Bastard.
And we got Joe Marshall and his detective,
Frank.
token black guy,
Yeah.
detective guy. Frank, you said.
The Riggs, or the Murtaugh to his Riggs.
Yes,
'Cause This is
okay.
totally a ripoff
This is a
of
total
Lethal Weapon.
We're already
Yeah.
seeing in the first 5 minutes. It's a ripoff of Riggs and Murtaugh.
Yeah.
They're going through LA, and there's like some pseudo stunts here. Like, remember the guy creeps out of the back?
Yeah. And like when he dies, he's like, yeah.
And we set up our first like plot point where like the guy catches on fire, right? Like,
So they do get this guy, and I don't know how the fucking van blows up, but it does, in a very typical action movie way.
right, yeah.
And
This dude catches on fire, and they put him out.
and it catches on fire.
They put him out. Like,
And
the
I mean, the
most,
way it's shot,
let's just shoot the stunt choreograph guys, like putting the towel down on him and spraying him, and
But
we'll
even
just
then,
use that as actual footage.
yeah, like the guy, if you look at like the Freddy movies and the Jason, like this guy's not even writhing.
Not
and you
even-
really
no
get to see
mask.
like his face,
Yeah.
no flash hood or anything like at the ending of Terminator 1,
No
when he leaves
clever
the thing.
shots from the back or from like a weird up angle.
No, he's literal-
with like the light kind of blurring his face, so you can't tell what's going on. No.
You can literally see like he's a brunette, he's got like stubble chin, and they're like, all right, action. And he's like,
And
So they put this guy out.
they put yeah, they
and
put
he's
him
the only
out.
witness.
He's the witness to the crime,
Yeah.
and what? This starts like the best dialogue I have seen.
Oh yeah, great job, guys.
Yeah, we made a comment in one of our previous episodes about like lines that you can't use anymore and shit that is just kind of its time.
Cancel culture.
And this
is in full
movie,
effect.
whether it's to a negative or positive effect, has some of the greatest one-liners ever. The first one being, and we'll try and insert these as we go or whatever. But we've got
Take it away.
Keep it warm for me,
Yeah.
Peg.
Oh, it's up and ready. You just keep it warm.
She tells him, Peg, once again in the helicopter that's not moving, says, great job, guys. Let's celebrate.
Yeah.
And then I think Hammond says,
Over the radio, nonetheless. He does not like personally to her in the locker room. Just
And
like, by the way, keep it warm.
by the
for
way,
me.
keep it warm for
Yeah.
me. And then she's like, let's celebrate. And he goes, he looks up and he's at the sky. I'll see you at your
he
place.
finger guns her, and she can't even see it.
And it cuts. Yeah. I'm going to see that from like 1,000 feet up. Yeah. He gives her the fucking 80s cop thing. He's like, I'll see you at your place. And we cut into some of the steamiest
Immediately.
Cinemax.
Oh, wait.
We just go right into
Steamiest
it.
Cinemax style sex scene, not fully clothed, but with undies on.
Yeah.
Horrible fish kissing, and
Or is it two?
No, you have
two sex scenes. They're
no,
full
three.
on. There's three. Yeah.
They're full on three. There's one with Peg, one with the redhead,
Yep.
Robert Zadar, and then one with kind of like two with Jennifer.
Right. Yeah.
And they all got great exposed tit shots.
Yeah.
And they're all humping them
There's
with
implied thrusting. It's not shown, but it's definitely implied.
It's implied. They're embracing. Hands, fingers interlocked.
Yeah, exactly.
But they've all got their undies on. Exactly. They pulled a Max Thunder.
Yeah.
So after this very unnecessary sex scene, we then cut, I guess, to the hospital.
Well, no, we do the lethal weapon scene, right? Like the you bastards.
Yeah, it's very trope.
Enter the chief.
Yeah, enter the angry, hard-boiled chief who's like sucking on my Lanta
got a cigar.
and Pepto-Bismol and like
I'm gonna have an ulcer with you too.
right these you renegade cops.
I feel like somebody stuck a big club up my ass, and it hurts. We've got to figure out a way to get it out of there.
And he says, you brought him back from San Diego. Take him back to San Diego. You said he was a samurai. You said he spoke Japanese, which he does not speak Japanese.
And then you get that culturally insensitive remark from Samurai Cop, who's like you said, he's supposed to be fully like
fluent in Japanese,
and shit, and he's just like this Hukanama guy, whatever.
Yeah, however the hell you say it.
Are you Fujiyama?
Yes, I am. Who are you?
I'm a cop.
Yeah.
Like, if you're, come on, dude, get out of here.
He also kisses the captain on his head.
Oh God, that's right.
He gets pissed off, and then he has a change of heart, and he just says, Oh, you boys will be boys.
And the detective has that look at the camera moment, like, "Oh, did y'all see that?" And then we have the fourth wall being broken.
This is all
then
hospital.
We get hospital with the redhead.
Where there's
well, before the hospital, we introduced the Katana Gang.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, that's right. We
with your boy.
were introduced to Cranston Komuro.
Great actor in this movie, by the way.
And his stand-in, aka his mullet.
I'm saying that as ironic as I can.
Yeah, and it's funny because the guy I'm talking about, Mr. Komuro himself, is probably like second or third generation Japanese American, and like knows nothing else but California.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Hey, can you really ham it up and play this guy talking like this with their teeth gritted the whole time?"
I want him dead. I want his head cut off and brought here. I want his head on this piano.
But anyway, after we have the introduction of the Katana Gang, we then cut to the hospital
scene. Yeah,
with Robert Zadar is
being wheeled in into this thing that looks half his size. I don't know how the fuck he fit into it.
The redhead chick is wheeling him into murder.
We'll call her
the witness.
Yeah,
and he went from being like completely fine, just a couple burns on his back, to just being complete, like
all bloody bandages.
Absolutely a complete wreck.
You can't see him at all.
He looks like what's his name, Dark Man or whatever.
Yeah.
Completely covered.
Shout out to Sam Raimi.
Shout out to Liam Neeson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out to Liam Neeson as well.
But they chop his head off.
Bleeding through the bandages. No, but he's also like labored, kind of like horny, wheezing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's pulling a Beetlejuice.
Yeah, he's still pulling the Beetlejuice here.
But
and they chop his fucking head off, and it's like the most uneventful, like quickest little shitty dummy getting his.
There's no blood spray.
Right off.
It's done off camera. There's some really bad ADR as far as like the.
Yeah.
And
that's all over this movie.
And the fucking hospital. We'll talk about the exterior later, but the inside.
You got this like rent-a-cop who looks like
Joe Piscopo. I was saying a
not even. He looks like Stallone's cousin or something.
with an AC Slater Jerry.
Yeah, and he's got like a wonky eye, or he's looking at the camera wrong, or whatever. At one point,
not much, sir. There's a nurse in there giving him an injection,
and he chases them out of the hospital, which magically turns into the exterior of a motel. The Tiki Motel.
With
possibly.
Shout out to Terminator 1. Well, he there you go. That's what I'm talking about. You're terminated, fucker. Remember, like there was like the one real office where they're like, "All right, we'll let you film for like 10 minutes, but don't disturb the real like administrative portion of this place." And then next to it, just a dentist's office. How would a dental office be within a hospital?
That was like some placard they had made at Kinko's that morning. Just put it right here. That's the next girl that comes in.
Well, there's the hot nurse even before that.
The hot nurse, which is sexy number 2.
And she says, well, no, he doesn't bang her, but she pretty much insults him.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And she says, I'm looking for something bigger.
Looking for something
Do you like what you see?
I got enough. It's big.
I want bigger.
And it's funny. The dialogue goes from, do you like what you see? And Joe, I think he's got the wig on at the time. He goes, yes, very much. Would you like to go out with me? Yes, I would like that very much. And then just random as fuck. Would you like to fuck me?
Yeah, would you like to fuck me?
And he grabs her stethoscope and he goes, bingo.
Bingo. Fucking.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. One of the few plot points that actually moves the movie along is
the girlfriend.
The girlfriend.
Yeah.
Enter
Fujiyama's girlfriend.
Enter
Janice Farley.
Whatever. Janice, is that her name? Restaurateur, hot blonde chick,
restaurateur, devout Christian.
Has like and she has like the good girl, like she's not Peg.
He even says it. He says, "What are you? What's a good all-American girl like you doing with scum like this?"
By the way, what's an all-American girl like you doing with a geek like this?
It's L.A. The place is called
excuse me.
I think it's called Carlos and Cabreras or something. It's like some fake Japanese Mexican restaurant.
All I know is The Office has that lion head that you see about 5 different times.
And
stuffed as all hell.
Shout out to the Fruity Mater D or something.
I know all about her.
I like cops. My cousin's a cop.
Oh, really? Where?
in Costa Rica.
He's just racially. He's not white, but he's this racially ambiguous, fruity little like more evil version of
You will be the one
escaping or Diarra. Shout out to Tattoo from
yeah, he's like a tall
what Fantasy Island.
Vern. No, I can't remember his name. He's also in Man with a Golden Gun.
Yeah, and he's this like Latino Filipino guy with like 100 names.
Hervé something.
Who from Man with a Golden Gun?
No, the little tattoo guy. It doesn't matter.
Anyway, no, he says like
sounds like him.
my uncle shot himself, and he says, well, that and I think he's also like, what's your first name? He's like Diego Filipino de la Fuente de la Hoya de la Cruz.
That's my first name.
That's my first name. Do you want to know? Do you have enough time? And of course, like super bad jokes. Like Frank asked him, and your last name? Come on, we don't have time for that. So, yeah.
I can't even remember where we left off, but basically,
well, it's the date.
So
he pretends like he's a church-going, virtuous man. He's literally going to. He's a horn dog. He's after this girl,
fucking.
and it happens to be her birthday.
That's right? There's a cake. You're right.
Well, there's a meal too.
Meal.
You can elaborate on how.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
You can elaborate how this douchebag called up. You know,
sets
like
4 places at a table. It even counts them to make sure I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sets, and then sits down knowing it's just the 2 of them.
So he's got a cake. He's got like Italian food or something, and he brings out the cake in a fucking Speedo is what it is.
That's right.
and then he proceeds to invite her to a fucking swim, which they're like frolicking in one scene
And then-
on Malibu Beach. But they decide to go swimming in a pool.
Yeah.
And this is only after some heavy petting and some dry humping. Then he does take her into the bedroom where he proceeds to deflower her after, I assume they didn't have that piece of the 1 candle cake. More horrible, like,
yeah, all the fish
more
kissing.
horrible fish kissing.
Some titty shots.
Titty-shots.
Those like under boobs and like side kind of butt. Like you're like, you might get a crotch shot, but then it's like, no, you don't. Almost, but no.
A papaya shot.
Yeah.
Shout out to Grace Jones in Conan the Destroyer. That was the first papaya I ever saw.
Yeah.
As a child. There's a gift that they believe Frank to have where they quite gaily take his towel off.
Oh, that's right.
Unprovoked and unmitigated.
You
to then hold him at a gunpoint, and he goes,
I am going to cut off your black gift. Your black gift is what he called it.
No, he says, if you don't start talking right now, I'm going to, and I quote, if you don't start talking right now, I'm going to relieve you of this gift.
This gift.
This black
gift.
Or I can relieve you of this gift. This black gift.
And you see his hand off camera reaching and grabbing for his crocodile Willie.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
And then somehow,
none of these people thought
somehow
that this
Frank
would
gets
come off as
away.
gay.
Then we have the lieutenant guy gets invaded because they're going house to house. Where is he?
Right.
And they go and they put oil on Peggy's face or no, her crotch.
Her
even
genitals,
worse.
not even on her
worse.
face. Yeah.
Yeah, like they.
While he's fucking
That's
Jennifer.
right. Yeah, that's right. And then
so his side piece is getting genitally mutilated. At some point, the lower level boss, Gerald Okamura, with some great ADR and some awesome, like, what is he got? He's got those rings, the size. I think it's like ring blades or something.
Yeah, some like finger blades, that like stabbing weapons or whatever.
Knives
and stabbing weapons.
That's
yeah.
right. But he turned to a bomb or something to get me.
Fuck you, asshole.
Thanks, Arnie. So yeah, Okamura gets killed. So it's kind of like tit for tat between the cops and the Katana gang.
And then we just got Zadar left, right?
Yeah, that's it. We get to the final. They go to some cabin, I guess, where Peggy's being. I'm
It's
sorry,
like Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah, it's like the upper
Inland
hills.
Empire.
Yeah, they've
It's
gone up to Sacramento.
Temecula.
They're down in San Diego.
they principal
Reno.
photographer. Yeah, I was gonna say
Siobhan's uncle in Reno is
it
like,
looks,
you can shoot here.
It looks more like Aspen, like off season, like in the summer.
But we've got Joe Marshall. We got Joe Marshall in a wig, and then we've got Robert Zadar having a sword fight
with perhaps not real facial hair, a
These-
fake beard.
these little plastic swords that they got at like KB Toys.
Oh my god! And just pointed out that they were very they were chipped.
They were
as fuck
chipped
already.
as fuck, yeah. And they have their
Shout out to
Bite.
KB Toys.
which is very poorly choreographed, and it cuts back and forth between the wig to no wig, to wig to no wig.
He's punching him too, like hard body against the palm tree.
The ADR's all off.
And the wig, there's no spirit gum left from the previous fight scene where
can see the
Okamoto rips it off.
Frame rate's a little bit faster in certain shots to give that, feel
Yeah,
of
yeah,
action
yeah,
feel.
yeah.
But it's all been done poorly and not succinct.
His bangs move over different eyes. Thanks, Y Signal.
But then we get because it's a cut. It's like a cut to
the climax of
after
him.
Zadar.
Wait,
tell me about how Zadar goes out. This is
Well, I
a
was
great.
gonna say,
this is a
yeah,
great
yeah,
kill
yeah.
scene. So yeah.
we've got some kind of like that's also kind of like I feel like that's a hot shot.
Are you doing the Swayze the throat?
Yeah, it's like the Swayze, but I keep saying I feel like merch. Shout out to Fresh.
Shout out to
Fit.
Shaw Brothers. Every time they do
Yeah.
it, it's like the ropes are moving.
I guess it's
like you're flexing. Your
I guess,
bones
but
are
I guess
going.
it's also like remnant of like Tiger style, So, but he kind of does this kind of like he kind of does this kind of like like a Three Stooges thing, yeah. So I guess he's fucking up Zadar's pressure points in his bicep. He's got him in a sick arm bar. He messes his arm up. Puts him in a kind of like a reverse headlock where you clearly
he's
hear
about to Scorpion Death Drop him. Like
you clearly
like Sting.
hear his shout out to the Road Warriors. You clearly hear him break Zadar's neck. We hear celery or like a 2x4 being snapped off camera, and he's still alive. Yeah, and at that point he's defeated. Great quote: "You've lost face, Robert Zadar.
You lost face."
So of course Zadar being Yamashita, aka Yamashita,
he's real deal Bushido. He even says he's like, about the Bushido and the code.
You know the code of Bushido. You know what you must do. So Frank, his partner in the background, thankfully cooler heads prevail. He prevents him from
Don't kill. He's like, don't kill him.
He
Joe.
prevents Joe from beheading him. But then later words, it just so happens that Zadar pulls out a blade from his boot and ends up committing harakiri. And
I can't lose.
I think there are some guts too. Actually, it goes from him like the blade pushing in,
maybe,
and I think they've got some hamburger helper or something over his tank top as well. So. That's pretty much it. We go to that. I don't think there's any sort of resolution with typically in these films.
I was waiting for Peggy to get an apology given to her for.
We don't even see what.
Poor Peg.
I feel bad for Peg as the character.
Old square Peg.
She's a slut because during the one stakeout she says whatever they get. Hey Max, wanna fuck?
Let's fuck.
Shut up.
Yeah, she's like, she's hitting on other dudes in the precinct.
She's written that way, slutty. But
she's the town bicycle.
Yeah, but they did her dirty, man. They
poor
really
girl.
did her. So she gets mutilated.
So I feel bad for her.
Well,
I feel
these guys
bad for
get
the
fucked.
lieutenant's wife. I don't feel so bad for him. He had it coming with all. He needed to put some fucking Noxzema on there or something. Clearasil, something on that.
Yeah.
Go to a dermatologist, you freak.
I feel bad for Jenny for basically, as I told Jess,
she got completely
corrupted
by Joe Marshall and his horrible ways. You would think somebody who was trained by the samurai would have a little more honor and
Christian
morality.
girl wearing very modest clothes with her on her date with Fujiyama basically gives it up on her birthday, skips church, openly defies her mother on some Papa Don't Preach shit.
And there's not very many Episcopalian churches in L.A. She's probably got to drive like an hour to get there.
Who's anything? Who's Christian anything in L.A.? So
the preacher's like, I wonder where she is. She's normally here.
But
maybe we should file a missing persons report.
It's funny. Like if on some Thanos type shit. If I could re-edit the movie, I'd have those two characters in the Beetlejuice scene. Like, yes, I love that man. Like, Jennifer Farley, I love that man
of mine.
Yeah, that loving man of mine. Yeah. And then and like Peggy, redhead, all the bitches from his past. And Samurai Cop's like, but she meant nothing to me at all. Nothing to me. And we get the end credits. All we get is names. But we don't get the character.
No characters' names.
Yeah.
There's a lot of one name, like Charles. Sound by Sasha.
Sound by Y Signal.
It's just like Galcia.
It's like the Streets of Rage. Like all you know is it's
special thanks to Yuzo
Koshiro.
Koshiro.
That's it for the music, and that's it. But other than that, it's like stop sign.
Best key grip, Mr. X.
Key grip, Musashi.
Nobody who worked on this really gave a shit. They probably didn't even get paid.
Yeah.
It's direct to video. It's 91.
Catering, Harry B.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's direct to video.
There's a couple things I wanted to go over.
Please. Sure.
I loved some of the worst ADR you've ever seen. Some of the,
amazing.
Try and insert some of these shots here. Maybe key moments that I'm thinking of that, like Sid Vicious. At the end.
Shout out to his Metallica and Justice for All cut off sleeveless shirt.
It looks like a Metallica roadie, but this there's about 800 henchmen that all have poor aim and bad reactions to being shot.
Forgot the Jess's dad guy who's stricken with some kind of like multiple sclerosis or something. He literally comes out.
He's got a dead arm.
The dead arm. He stays like that the whole film. But he shoots. But Metallica dude, Sid Vicious, he shoots at something else.
They do this shot where they look at him and it looks like he's pointing at Samurai Cop to shoot him. But then they cut back to Samurai Cop who looks up, like at a direction that the guy is not looking at, and then he looks at them and gets shot. And it's just like what, and what like even like kindergarten, first grade, second grade movie script did someone write and think like this is not. This is acceptable. This is not a real movie. It's like at a certain point they said, like, are we still making this just to make it as a joke? And the guy's like, no, like this is real. Like,
well,
Samurai Cop, it's gonna come out. And people are gonna be all over it. And Hammond's gonna be our next big. He's gonna be the next JCVD.
Well,
we just gotta get him in the gym.
So some post rap things. Some of the production. I'm going to read this verbatim. It says, filming took place, as you could notice, as you pointed out, Villain, over several months, starting in June of 90.
Oh.
When actor Hannon had considered shooting to be finished, he had his hair cut short, only to be told the further shooting was to be done. Director Siobhan obtained... Dude, you fucking called this. Siobhan obtained a lady's wig for the actor, which can be seen in several close-up shots throughout the film. Lead actor Hannon stated that he and several other actors became frustrated with the dialogue in the film, while also expressing frustration at the lack of multiple takes. He admits to intentionally ruining takes due to his frustration, assuming that Siobhan would not put them in the film, but these takes ended up in the film anyway. A reflective Hannon was able to laugh at this, stating, "So shame on me," in a 2014 interview with Red Letter Media. The shooting schedule was also poorly planned, as Hannon and Mark Fraser both assumed the film was finished before Siobhan called them in for reshoots in early 91.
Almost a year later.
He couldn't afford lighting. Siobhan couldn't afford he could only have a handful of prop firearms.
That's why everything's shot outside.
Yeah.
Everything's shot like at 6 a.m. to fucking 6 p.m.
Yeah.
The wig is by far the star. I mean,
the wig should have its own billing and its own dressing room.
Let's talk about the best scene in the film with
that's a tough one.
Remind me his name again. The guy from Big Trouble in China, the bald dude.
Oh, Okamura. Yeah.
Okamura and Hannon are fighting. Remember?
Yeah. Oh, don't get too excited.
I got too excited.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times do we rewind this?
And it's sped up. We rewound it and we were fucking dying. I was out of breath.
I couldn't breathe. Yeah. But Okamura and Hannon are fighting, and they are
struggling. He is falling on cacti.
He's probably like, when they get close, he's probably like, you're doing that wrong. You gotta do this, whatever.
It's like selling it in the ring, where he's got him in a couple of arm bars, and probably as they're filming, he's like, all right, this is where you reverse the arm bar on me.
This is where you punch me.
He's like, okay, and in this scene, this is where I arm bar you, and I'm gonna grab you by your hair and take it away.
He grabs him by the hair.
I wish we had like a
and he
chronometer.
pulls him up, or he's like trying to pull him up.
It's got to be at like 18 minutes and whatever, 6 seconds. Look it up at home.
He rips
kids.
that spirit gum a little too hard, and that wig comes off for like a
fully off
fraction of a second, and that fraction is
instead
so long.
And instead of editing it, he just literally he knows he fucks up.
We got it. Keep it in.
Well, you can see he tries to.
Big pile of shit.
You can see he tries to just put it back on his hair and salvage the take.
Yeah, and then they cut real back. Yeah, cut real quick. And like you said, the unprofessionalism to say, wait, look, I'm sorry we have to do this again with the wig on, but we lost the wig in that shot. We got to do it again.
Yeah.
And you know, I understand that there is probably trials and tribulations that come with making a movie.
Beyond, yeah.
But if you're not going to do it right, why do it at all? Or if it becomes a train wreck like this, why don't you just lean into it and make it more fun of a train wreck? But this movie didn't necessarily not do that. I mean, okay, so that takes us probably into our next thing here. So let's go ahead and just come out with it. What is your rating for this movie, PBK? And I think you and I probably have the same rating.
This is kind of a rarity. So before I give my rating, drum roll please. I do want to say that, look, you know, I had seen this for the first time. Looking at my notes here, it was released by Media Blasters, who does a lot of the good Japanese stuff. And that obviously him being a bodyguard, and of course the guy was handsome, very tall, and with someone else who worked on the film too. And he's Cat in the Brain, not Cat in the Brain. What's the so it, you know, it's a bootleg. Obviously, if it's direct to video, this is before DVD. But anyway, like I said,
so anyway, you're leaving me in suspense here. What is your rating?
5 out of 5. 5 out of 5.
And
5 out of 5.
I have to agree.
Don DeMarco, yes. Why, Villain?
Because it's just all fun factor. It's 5 out of 5 for the fact that this was a good time from start to finish. Is this a good movie? No. You could give it a 0 or a 1, and I would happily say, yeah, I can see that, and I respect that. Yeah. But one thing that we kind of do here is we don't necessarily just rate a movie based on whether or not it's Oscar worthy which we can, and we have before. We've given merit based on merit.
Yeah.
But this is, you know, a horrible trash movie that provided a great time. You know what I mean? This is,
and that's why you and I do what we do.
That's why we do what we do.
And this is why people.
This is better than Career Opportunities.
Yeah.
Which is kind of my measure of a bad movie.
Well, I can't. You know, I don't want to get all high and mighty here, but yeah, I mean, ditto. At the end of the day, whether you can marry your passion with income, right?
Right.
Which is, you know, and I won't belabor the topic anymore as far as like what my feelings are about that in regards to us doing this.
That's a whole other.
But we can do that for any fans that want to pick our brains. Like,
but
I was a musician at one point as well, trying to blow up. Anyway, the point being is, drummer, I have to say, and of course DJ. You are actual real DJ as well.
I spent my time trying to get in the limelight as well.
Yeah, but you know, we watch these things.
Regardless, we watch these things because we have a passion for good, bad, and everything in between movies.
Well, I think it's a passion for one. It's the escapism.
Yeah.
Or I'll speak for myself, but I think you would agree. One, it's the escapism. Two is the art, and you know, this is stuff that, like, and maybe you'll agree, not until like 2000, 2001 when DVD came out. Let's say for the stuff that you and I grew up on. So say for like, I remember in 2002 with my old roommate Ryan, we were living in Jersey City at the time, and he bought the actual whatever it would be, Anchor Bay. I don't know if they're even still doing DVDs or especially just Blu-ray, but so he bought the 20th anniversary edition of Evil Dead, and it came with the fake Necronomicon.
Yeah.
And it was this polystyrofoam, the book, and that, the Conan, you know, so in 2002, all these movies like 82, The Thing, you know.
They started coming out with these collector's editions.
Okay, exactly. So with the collector's editions came these interviews that in many cases was some of the first time that these actors fucking talked about the movie or appeared in public talking about the movie.
It started to open up the, not necessarily behind the scenes, but more like a new life for like the movie as it exists within the zeitgeist of pop culture.
And I mean, like with these, in some cases, like 2 hour, like Just Desserts, the Creep Show behind the scenes making of. The one that I specifically bought right here at Torn Light Records. I bought because it was already like sold out. I bought the Scream Factory edition of Return of the Living Dead, 2-disc edition. I spent like 60 fucking bucks on it. Why? Because I had a feature-length documentary that was like 2 hours as well, as long as the movie. And had everybody. Tom Matthews, Linnea Quigley, who's the Chiladas guy. Enchiladas.
Oh,
and Miguel Nunez.
Miguel Nunez.
Yeah.
Oh, them damn enchiladas.
Oh, some damn enchiladas.
So before you and I started this show and before you and I met, I was already purchasing many of these 20, 25, 30-year-old films.
For sure.
With that intent of breaking the fourth wall or just knowing what goes into sound design, assistant directing, the monster makeup, costume design, set location. What is it called? No, location scouting. So considering, sorry for taking so long, but considering all of this, a guy made a movie, which is more than we could say for ourselves right now, or the fans out there watching. Everybody would love to make a movie. And this guy did it, whether it's a steaming pile of shit or not. Not only did he make a movie, he created a fucking cult following. He created a legacy.
There's plenty of shit movies out there, but this one stands out for
and now these
whatever
guys,
goddamn reason.
Because of this one nightmare of a movie that was unintentionally bad, these guys can now live off of this and go do the HorrorCon circuit. And people are going to, it was obviously 91. It's almost 2023. We're talking about this over 30 years later.
Right. Yeah.
And once again, the reason I do it, the reason I watch this stuff, escapism, the art, and to get a feeling out of it. And yeah, it sounds dumb, but yeah, this was a total laugh fest. It was a feeling of joy.
Yeah.
And that's why I give it a 5 out of 5. But when I give a 5 out of 5 to like The Thing or The Fly,
right? Yeah,
that's a 5 out of 5 for very different reasons,
And so I think that's everything you said. I agree with 100%. Like for me, it's the escapism and all that stuff as well. But for me, it's also like if I go to a movie and it, for one reason or another, keeps me entertained, keeps me watching it, I know there's something going on there.
Right.
But what gave this the 5 out of 5? It's such a fun group movie. There's some movies where it's like I want to watch this by myself, and I want to delve into it in my own way. But this is a great movie.
This is a great Halloween party movie.
Exactly. This is just
or like a bachelor party movie.
Exactly. It's just stupid fun.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I love
homies drinking, smoking,
throwing popcorn in your face.
Yeah.
And just hanging out, having a good time.
And it's just you can have it in the background, and holy shit,
you can have like you say, drinking games based on how many times they say this, that, and the other. I'm sure you probably it'd be illegal to play a drinking game every time it switches from the wig back to the normal haircut.
Forget it.
You'd be done by an hour and 10 minutes in.
You'd be ripped. Yeah.
But 5 out of 5 for sure. This movie was awesome. I highly recommend it to anyone and everyone who's of age to watch it and to not take it seriously and to just enjoy it. Shout out to Jess, who absolutely fucking hated it.
But I think she'll never forget it.
She'll never forget it. And I think if they said, "Would you ever take back the night watching the movie?" she'd say, "Fuck no, we laughed our asses off."
Right, yeah.
And that's it.
And that's rare.
That's what it really matters, right? Like at the end of the day, did we have a good time? Absolutely. Yeah. And I can't wait to see Samurai Cop 2.
And we don't watch comedies either. And but this had that effect.
But it's not like something we go out of our way to. Like we did
Career Opportunities,
Beetlejuice and Career Opportunities, and
Thrashing wasn't a comedy.
No, but it turned out to be one.
It exists in the Samurai Cop realm.
And Pound of Flesh was definitely not supposed to be a comedy, but it was a comedy. And that movie's bad for other reasons,
right? And he's probably like, why did you think the movie was so funny?
It's
like, how can you rate Samurai Cop better than Pound of Flesh?
JCVD.
Because JCVD, you've done Kickboxer before. We've seen you at your highlight. We've seen you at Bloodsport. Come on.
I think, in his defense, because I am a JCVD mark, I think probably after Expendables, after Expendables 2, okay, like that's a bad movie, just bad.
Yeah.
As is Double Dragon, which we'll talk about another time.
We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah. But I was gonna say that JCVD, he did that show with Jean-Claude Van Johnson, and he finally got it. And I gotta say, there's just more life in making fun of yourself. And I don't want to say B movie actor, but you do see people like, Corey Haim, rest in peace, and Feldman. Those guys,
they never were able to take a look back and say,
like that they fully
I
regretted
looked
it.
a little silly back then, or maybe I shouldn't take myself too seriously.
But
Corey Feldman for sure, but and I love Corey Feldman. I'll rep that guy. He's one of my favorite '80s actors of all time.
I know, but so maybe it's a bad example. But okay,
I wouldn't say a bad example, but like you said, like I think I know what you're trying to say is
look at the brilliance of Cobra Kai.
Yes,
like what the fuck were any of those guys, including the star Machio, doing? But like nothing, just disappeared. And you see, one intellectual property mixed with nostalgia. Boom. And it actually is a pretty legitimate
I like it,
reimagining of something,
but
or whatever, continuation.
In regards to Samurai Cop, movies that at the end of the day don't take themselves too seriously, they already kind of win the fight against themselves, right? Like if you're like, if someone said this movie's so effing stupid, what the hell? Of course it's stupid. It knows it's stupid. That's what I think that's why they eventually released this movie, is to say this is. Maybe someone will like it out there. Who knows?
Maybe. I think there was a bit of like debt collection too.
Probably.
But check this out. I would say this not knowing that it's funny, this has more rewatch value than something like Naked Gun series or Police Academy or Repossessed,
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's I mean we could really just I could go on.
Toxic
and on.
Avenger 2 is good bad and all those early like Nukem High.
Well, that's it. Okay, that's a good comparison because as far as like Toxie and more slapsticky things that are intentionally funny.
Yeah.
I think those hit very close to what this is kind of going for as far as fun factor. But I mean, we could probably sit here and talk for this.
Yeah, we've belabored
for hours on end.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have to insert some of the Joe Marshall and crew into our little repertoire here of sound bites. But anyway,
gang out there, watch it.
Yeah,
that's
watch
my closing thoughts.
Anyone here, please feel free. If you've been watching any of the movies we've been talking about,
write us.
This will fit right in.
Yeah.
To that whole thing.
Comment section, please subscribe.
Yeah. Don't forget about
rate, review, subscribe our YouTube channel. Find us on Spotify.
Got a Patreon. But yeah, any other comments on Samurai Cop?
It was very apt that, very aptly titled, very apropos that I would watch something samurai, being that I just came back from Japan, and there's no samurai anything in it besides from the party.
Besides at the end,
the Party City quality.
Oh my god, it's so funny. But yeah, Samurai Cop. Please feel free to check it out.
Tune in to Samurai Cop 2. At some point, we'll do it this year.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll do an episode on it.
Samurai Cop documentary.
Yeah, that's what we got to watch that as well.
Those two in one.
We'll have to do like a roundup of Samurai Cop at some point later. But if there's nothing else to discuss, I have been DJ Villain,
and I have been MC PB Mother FNK, the goddamn phone book killer.
And this has been the Into the Night podcast.
Hey, y'all think y'all can pick me up before I go to work on Friday? Because that's my last day off.
Arwa, whatever you do, don't tell the girl flipping pizzas up in the case to keep it warm for you.
Keep it.
Oh, Reggio.
Yeah. Shout out to Reg.
I'm not coming into work tomorrow. You can't because the wrecking crew is already gonna demo the fucking place down.
Really? When this happened? Tell them I gotta get back in there. I left some stuff in the office.
I left some Jolly Ranchers from 2019.
I got some Laffy Taffy in the register.
What a guy, man. What a mensch.
Well, that's out.
Peace.
Later.